I think you're asking me, how can I say 100% that no child will ever be harmed in school? I can't. No police chief can. But all I can tell you is that we have systems in place so that if something happens, we can respond like we did today.
That was Madison, Wisconsin Police Chief Sean Barnes earlier today addressing reporters and the public after yet another school shooting in the United States. Today, 2 victims were killed, 6 others injured. Police say the female teenage shooter took her own life. The shooter's family is reportedly cooperating with investigators. The shooting comes just 2 days after the nation marked 12 years since another horrific day, 2012's Sandy Hook massacre in Newtown, Connecticut, which left 26 dead, including 20 very young children, 6 and 7 years old, and 6 adults who worked at the school. I want to bring in Nicole Hockley, co-founder and CEO of Sandy Hook Promise. She lost her 6-year-old son, Dylan, in the Sandy Hook massacre, and she has been coming on the show periodically ever since that horrible day to talk about this insane world in which we find ourselves. And Nicole, first of all, I was thinking about Dylan on Saturday, and again, my heart and the hearts of everybody watching, I'm sure, go out to you and your family. What was your reaction when you heard the news this morning?
It's certainly not the news that anyone wants to start their day with, and certainly not anyone in the community of Madison and where this happened. It's, this past Saturday, the 12-year remembrance of Sandy Hook is still incredibly raw for me and my family right now. So for the first starting of the day to see yet another school shooting where lives have been lost is just unacceptable.
At the Sandy Hook Promise, the group that you have helped form after the horrible shooting, you have preventative programs to teach students and staffers about warning signs to look out for. On a practical level, what are some of those warning signs, and what more can be done to prevent school shootings? What have you seen that works and could become law given the current political environment?
Well, one of the things we learned after launching Sandy Hook Promise is that shooters or anyone who's committing an act of violence almost always gives off signs. In fact, 4 out of 5 school shooters tell at least one other person or give signs. And once we train kids what to look for when someone is making overt threats about don't come to school tomorrow, or bragging about access to firearms, or studying other school shooters, but also the more subtle signs around feeling that they're not being seen, heard, or valued, feeling that they need to take revenge against something, really overly aggressive responses to something that might seem more common, not being able to resolve conflicts or their anger in a way that most of us will know how to do. These are kind of the signs that we teach kids what to look for. And it's usually not just one sign, it's an escalation of signs. While we can mandate for this sort of training to happen in schools across the country and mandate things like anonymous reporting systems to help enable and get early interventions, we can also mandate things like secure storage and ensuring that young people in particular can't access firearms to commit these acts of violence. So the more we can intervene by recognizing the signs and getting help and ensuring that they cannot access in order to fulfill their plans, these are things that we absolutely can do and we know work, that we have so much evidence and proof how these things work. We just need to scale it more quickly across the country.
So let's say there's some moms and dads watching right now, or maybe some students home from school, and they're watching right now, and they think about, well, I know, I'm just going to make up a name, Jimmy is posting really hardcore, ugly, gun-themed TikToks, and he's kind of a loner, or he's like, something happened in his family, and he's really changed in the last 6 months. Assuming they don't know of an anonymous number, right, a parent or a child, what should they do?
Well, if you think someone is in imminent danger, you should always call 911. But for kids who are like, I'm not sure if this is real, I mean, we always encourage, you have to take things seriously, because so many times people think that someone's joking when they make a threat, or that they're just seeking attention. Find a trusted adult, whether that's a parent, a coach, a teacher, a faith leader, someone that you know is going to take you seriously. We urge students to take this information to someone who can help get that person help, who can make that intervention for you. We're not asking kids to do this. We're not asking them to diagnose and decide what needs to happen. We're saying bring your concerns to a trusted adult, or an anonymous reporting system like the one that we have at Sandy Hook Promise, or like the one that so many schools and states have around the country. Find out a way to get that information to someone who can make the difference. But you need to take it seriously and you need to act immediately.
Nicole Hockley, mother of Dylan, thank you so much. And we continue to honor Dylan's memory by thinking about him. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jake.